Want to know what new financial blessings are coming to you this May? Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing Jupiter entering the sign of Taurus and how this transit will add to your materials, resources, and security. Hey there, Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western practical astrologer. And if you have not joined the Cosmic Warriors Club, go to cosmicwarriorsclub.com and join today. But before we do dive into today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button and click the bell. And if you are interested in any of my services, you can go to hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my Practical Astrology eBooks, guide and merch. All the links will be in the description box down below. I do hope that you find this video to be helpful today. Let's do this. Alright, so Jupiter will enter the sign of Taurus on the 16th of May 2023 and it will stay there until the 25th of May 2024. And Jupiter will also station retrograde in this sign from the 4th of September to the 30th of December. Over at the Cosmic Warriors Club, I talk about the aspects at the beginning of this transit, even looking at how this transit will play out throughout each of the seasons. So I definitely recommend checking that out, and then also looking at the aspects happening toward the end of the transit, so even looking at May 2024. So if you're interested in more detail, you can go to cosmicwarriorsclub.com. Now, before we dive into your horoscopes, I want to make you aware of a couple really important things. So the nodes will be making their final few degrees in the signs Taurus and Scorpio at the start of this transit. In fact, toward the end of May, beginning of June, Jupiter will conjunct the North Node in Taurus. So this can indicate a time period of feeling hopeful and optimistic and positive about the future when it comes to our finances, our belongings, our resources, our talents, our skills. Plus, Mars will enter Leo by the 20th of May, indicating creativity. So thinking about being creative when it comes to financial matters. Awesome. However, when Jupiter enters Taurus, there will be a square to Pluto retrograde as well as a T-square between Jupiter in Taurus, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and Mars in Leo when Mars does eventually enter Leo. And so this right here will make a fixed sign T-square. All you fixed signs out there may feel this one very strongly, very heavily, okay? So thinking about Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. But all of this is to say that we may find ourselves defending our values, defending what we own, our possessions, pushing back against power plays, pushing back against authority, fighting for the things we're building. Our wealth blessings may actually be challenged by societal pressure, by societal change. Tension regarding our security is likely here too. And a lot of people will be expressing their anger, their rage. We already can see the tension building within society. In fact, Black Moon Lilith will also be in Leo whilst this is taking place. And so all of this will be very strong at the end of May and even at the beginning of June. So we may be off to a pretty rocky start as Jupiter enters Taurus. But you see, Jupiter can also highlight greater ease, being stable, remaining steady, trying to remain calm, not letting the chaos shake us, remaining strong, staying true to our worth and values. On the other hand, Uranus is in Taurus there too. It has been in Taurus for the past few years, so expect the unexpected here, okay? There may be sudden changes happening. And also, we are coming out of Mercury retrograde in Taurus, which was from the 21st of April to the 14th of May. It's actually retrograde the day that I am recording this. So Consider what financial and security matters you have been revisiting or that you did revisit during that time, because Jupiter is coming along to potentially bless us, to provide, to improve, to increase. But with Jupiter, be careful what you reassessed or what you wished for, because Jupiter tends to amplify, tends to expand whatever it touches, and that's not always a good thing. And do keep in mind that the North Node has been in Taurus from January 2022, and then the South Node has been in Scorpio from that time. And so we have been focusing heavily on Taurus themes, Scorpio themes as well. But again, Jupiter is coming along to amplify. So amplifying what we have learned, the lessons we have gained. Now, if you do want to know more information about this transit, like I said, make sure to join the Cosmic Warriors Club. That video is currently up over there. But with that being said, let's get into your horoscopes. What is in store for you when Jupiter enters Taurus? Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your second house. So your finances, security, and talents have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your values and learning more about being sensible with your money, with your resources. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to trauma, related to shared ownership fears. Naturally, the key here is to be able to balance both of these parts of yourself. So thinking about balancing your resources versus other people's resources, balancing how you show up when it comes to earning money versus how you show up when it comes to diving deeper into your psyche. Still, the Jupiter transit may have you feeling good about your material path, but the key is to be consistent, patient, and steady, and to also consider unexpected changes with Uranus being in Taurus. You are already pretty cautious and reasonable about your materials, resources, and work ethic, but you can attract good money, a decent wage, or plenty of useful materials, provided that you keep your head down and refuse to be swayed by pettiness and greed. Be cautious of being overly materialistic. Focus on what matters, know your worth, know your value. If you can do that, things may fall into place, or you can manage the unexpected better. Perhaps your business expands, or you feel more positive about your wealth. And whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your second house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been reorganizing your resources, your work ethic, and your earning potential. Use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand such lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your money, music, or your art skills. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your first house. Okay, so your aims, goals, and identity have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your ambitions and learning more about being intentional when it comes to your direction. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to destructive relationship patterns and socializing fears. So looking here then at how you can balance these parts of yourself to do with how you show up within your relationships, and then even looking at how you can put yourself first, even looking at your individual path, your direction. Still, Jupiter may have you feeling good about your life path here, but the key is to be steadfast, grounded, and determined. And also just trying to remain calm if things do become quite chaotic and disruptive, seeing as Uranus is still in your sign. Yeah, trying to remain calm and steady is pretty easy for you, Taurus, because you are already like this. You can attract good life opportunities, a valuable outlook, and plenty of new exciting chapters to experience. Okay, even thinking about Uranus here, the unexpected can bring reward, blessings. And also here, the thing is, These things are more likely going to play out provided that you focus and you concentrate on what matters, what is really valuable and meaningful to you. And also provided that you don't become swayed by superficial or fake opportunities that lead to nowhere. I know you already don't give in to petty drama or things that do not align with your path, but still be cautious of overconsumption, overindulgence, and hedonism to a fault. If you can do that, you'll feel much more secure and content. Perhaps your worldview increases, or you do something totally outside of your comfort zone. And whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your first house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been reassessing your direction and your appearance. Use what you have learned to your advantage because Jupiter will expand these lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to body acceptance, your beauty, and your overall outlook. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 12th house. So your intuition, alone time, and hidden self have been activated by the North Node in Taurus since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your spiritual life and learning more about being grounded behind the scenes. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to overpowering stress and health fears. So here it's about balancing your working life versus your alone time, being able to balance how you show up within your everyday life, thinking about your routines, your schedules. So balancing that with then your spiritual life and retreating, etc. And Jupiter may have you feeling good about your psychic abilities, but the key is to relax, go inwards, and to not give in to judgment. Take some time to yourself if you need to. Go to a spa, get out into nature, get creative when alone, or experience a nice retreat. You may even decide to do something unexpectedly in regards to retreating, or maybe it's that there are these sudden unexpected changes happening, which can be positive or negative, of course, but it's trying to remain calm throughout the process. You can attract inspirational ideas, inner peace, and plenty of time to recharge, provided that you make time for yourself and remove yourself from situations that are far too stressful. However, be cautious of overeating when alone, escaping too much, and burying your head in the sand because you don't want to deal with certain things which need to actually be looked at. Your inner voice may guide you in really unexpected, surprising ways. It could even be that you have these sort of cosmic downloads, so to speak, okay? These sudden flashes of insight come to you when you're alone especially. And perhaps your next step becomes more clear, okay? A lot clearer throughout this transit, and you'll experience greater hope and optimism about the future. Whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 12th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been taking a deeper look at your dreams, your imagination. Use what you have learned to your advantage because Jupiter will expand such lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your visions, spiritual practices, and dependencies. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 11th house. So your friendships, alliances, and groups have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. So you have been focusing heavily on your group involvements and learning more about being consistent within teams. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to your inner child triggers and even thinking here about self-expression fears. So it's really looking at how you can balance things to do with your hobbies, your creativity, your interest versus how you show up within groups, how you show up within teams. The Jupiter transit, though, may have you feeling good about your community's desires, but the key is to be patient, reliable, and dependable. Now, you are already such loyal people when it comes to movements, causes, and teams that you're a part of. Still, you can attract valuable relationships, fruitful group involvements, and plenty of support when it comes to your hopes and your visions. Though on the other hand, with Uranus still being in Taurus, this could be unexpected changes to do with friendships, to do with groups. even looking at joining new groups, joining new clubs. But these things I mentioned are more likely to occur provided that you stay on track and you refuse to be swayed by things like greed or overindulgence or overspending as well. And even just knowing your value, knowing your worth within groups. Be cautious as well of being overly stubborn with others. Also be wary of becoming too cocky. Appreciate what you have, count your blessings. Your future path is falling into place, perhaps in ways that cannot be described fully. And all you need to do is be patient. Maybe an organization or a company you're a part of expands, or you feel really positive about your communities, about common goals with others. And whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 11th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been rethinking your non-conforming ideas and your participations within social groups. Use what you have learned to your advantage because Jupiter will expand these lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your teams, alliances, and acquaintances too. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 10th house. Your professional life, your life mission, and your reputation have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your life mission and learning more about being practical amongst the public, but you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to family turmoil and even looking at housing fears. So this is about you being able to balance your public life, your reputation versus your home life and your family life here. Still, this Jupiter transit may have you feeling good about your career path, about your professional life, but the key is to be sturdy, thorough, and consistent. You may be surprised by what comes up here. And you already value the amount of value that you bring to your profession. Still, you can attract rewarding position opportunities, fruitful achievements, and even an uplifting reputation, provided that you don't give in to careless spending or reckless displays in front of the public. You may even just surprise yourself and surprise others in terms of how you come across. You can even bring this larger than life attitude toward the public. Still, be cautious of coming across as pretentious. You know your ego can get a little bit wild at times. Count your blessings when it comes to your public position here. See the value of your power in your authority, but use these things with respect. More people will recognize you and want to build with you, want to create with you. Amazing. The public will most likely see the best in you. So will your bosses, your managers, your colleagues. And whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 10th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been gaining a different perspective about your reputation and ambitions. So use what you have learned to your advantage because Jupiter will expand such lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your accomplishments, status, and life mission. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 9th house. So your higher education, broadcasting, publishing, teaching, all of these things have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your publications and learning more about being reliable when it comes to sharing, when it comes to teaching. So sharing what you know with others, with the world. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to psychological distress and communication fears too. So really it's about you looking at how you can balance how you learn, how you gain new information versus how you teach, how you share information. Still, the Jupiter transit will have you feeling good about your future aspirations. But the key is to be calm, rational, and realistic. You care about the value that you put into anything you do, but you can attract exciting new publishing opportunities, rewarding travel experiences, and fruitful knowledge growth, provided that you don't give in to reckless preaching or outspoken judgment. Yes, you can be great at seeing what needs to be improved and fixed, but perhaps not saying anything can be useful. And also be cautious of being overly idealistic or philosophical too. If you can do these things, you may experience more rewarding international opportunities. Perhaps these opportunities come in unexpected ways. Maybe you gain new invites from different people across the world, or it's that there is a new opportunity that is very surprising to you to do with publishing, broadcasting, or it's that you reach a greater amount of people or you are promoted in many places. And so this can lead to an increased number of people noticing you. Your message will be heard by a larger amount of people, or maybe you decide to further yourself academically. But again, expect the unexpected with Uranus and Taurus there. Now, whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 9th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been revisiting your beliefs about the world, about yourself. Use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand such lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your travel experiences, reporting, and even when it comes to your religious values. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 8th house, so your joint resources, commitments, and intimacy have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. So you have been focusing heavily on your investments, learning more about being steady when it comes to transforming, but you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to money concerns and even security fears. So it's about looking at the balance between your personal finances, how you spend, shop, save, budget, etc., versus your joint resources, the joint accounts that you have, even looking at bonding, vulnerability, sexuality. So these areas being balanced out against your self-worth and how you value yourself. Still, this Jupiter transit may have you feeling good about your shared resources, but the key is to be solid, sturdy, and practical. You typically prefer to balance new opportunities in your life anyway, so you typically will think things through. You like to weigh out your options, your choices. Then again, you can be overly idealistic at times as well. Maybe Jupiter in Taurus will help ground you better, but then again, it's also looking here about Uranus in Taurus and how it's about, right, expect the unexpected. Things may change, things may become very different to what you think, seeking new alternatives, but you might attract a loan, or you might attract useful investments, or perhaps you experience improved joint financial planning, or you may attract fruitful, intimate / bonding experiences, or rewarding vulnerability between you and a lover or between you and friends. But this is provided that you don't give into over-the-top combined spending or tactless sharing of your emotions. Appreciate what you own and how far you've come. Your commitments will expand, but try to remain grounded and calm here. It's likely that you add to trust funds, or you open up a new joint account, maybe for business matters, for business purposes. Perhaps you even add to your skills with the help of others. Now, whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 8th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been gaining a deeper understanding about your bonding and sharing. Use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand such lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your emotional issues with partners, and even thinking about emotional issues that you have with people who are close to you. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Risings. So Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 7th house. Your partnerships, agreements, and cooperations, contracts, these have all been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your teamwork and learning more about being supportive within relationships, partnerships, but you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to overprotection and ambition fears. So it's looking here at how you can balance your own aims and goals and ambitions versus how you join together with others, versus how you share with others. And also thinking here about how you balance your outlook, your direction, versus how you approach relationships, how you behave within your relationships. Still, the Jupiter transit will have you feeling good about your relationship desires, but the key is to be supportive, secure, and grounded. You tend to behave realistically and practically within relationships, and you also tend to attract partners who have a solid work ethic, but you can attract relationship opportunities, perhaps unexpected relationship opportunities. You can also attract rewarding business deals and fruitful negotiation opportunities during this transit, provided that you remain grounded and level-headed. And then also thinking here about seeking alternatives. Now, you typically don't give into shiny, gleaming new things, Scorpio, but be cautious of being impacted by this idea of gaining loads of money or security, but to your detriment. Make sure you know where you stand, show patience, and if the unexpected happens, okay, it's about putting a plan in motion. It's about trying your very best to prepare, or kind of thinking about the solutions, thinking about how you can solve the problem or an issue. And if things do take longer to happen, just accept the wait. Slow progress is better than no progress at all. Maybe you know that all too well. Also, better than trying to rush and then being disappointed. Everything at its own pace within your partnerships and relationships. Still, increased collaborations and deals are likely. More relationship connections are likely. You might feel blessed within your relationships, but be cautious of taking on too many projects or biting off more than you can chew here as well within your relationships. Now, whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 7th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been seeing what you can change about your relationship habits and behaviors. Use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand such lessons. Now, it could be that you grow when it comes to your significant other, and also when it comes to customers and clients. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 6th house. So your working life, daily routines, and health have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your stress levels, your productivity, learning more about being intentional about your health, your well-being. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to flashbacks, related to unconscious fears. So it's looking at this balance between what goes on behind the scenes, okay, thinking about your own sort of private space, your alone time, versus how you show up within your everyday life, versus how it is that you apply yourself within work. But it's also looking at how busy you are when it comes to your everyday routines versus recharging and relaxing, and then even thinking about how you take care of yourself in practical ways versus how you take care of your spiritual life, your spiritual self. Still, the Jupiter transit may have you feeling good about your everyday life, but the key is to be consistent, gradual, and persistent, whilst also trying your best to navigate those unexpected changes and surprises that come with Uranus. Now, you can be quite patient and hardworking within your occupation, but you can attract new opportunities at work, rewarding health experiences, and improved time management, improved timekeeping, scheduling, even improved problem solving, provided that you don't become swayed by other things that seem amazing but are short-lived. Be cautious here, Sagittarius, of careless money decisions at work and reckless decisions when it comes to scheduling and even looking at task organization, biting off more than you can chew even when it comes to work, and then all of that can have massive impacts on your health. Try to remain in the present, try to keep settled. Things are moving at work. They are moving when it comes to your daily habits and your routines, but it's about being patient, looking at the slower progress. Things may be slow, but yeah, being patient. Now, new doors of opportunities are opening in regards to your habits, your health, your working life, And you may experience more rewarding and fruitful relationships at work. So thinking about coworkers, thinking about employees, employers. Maybe you even aim to get a promotion, or perhaps your skills are refined in really expansive ways. And whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 6th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been reviewing your services, even thinking about staff support, considering as well problem solving, how you've been refining your skills. So use what you have been learning here to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand these lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your pets, stress levels, and planning. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings. So Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 5th house. So your romantic life, creativity, and hobbies have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your free time and learning more about being relaxed when you're creating. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to emotional unease in groups, even thinking about community fears, paranoia within your communities and teams. So I think it's about being able to balance here how you show up within teams, how you show up within your alliances versus what you do for fun versus what you do in terms of your creativity and your hobbies, and even thinking about how you can balance collective aims and goals, these hopes for the future, versus your individuality, versus your self-expression, your ego. Still, this Jupiter transit may have you feeling good about your spare time, about your leisure activities, but the key is to be calm, reserved, and level-headed. Now, you already can be so practical and reliable and reserved people. I mean, you are an earth sign after all. This is you. We're talking about Capricorn. But you can attract fruitful and exciting celebrations, more free time, and much more rewarding time off, provided that you don't act foolishly or carelessly about play, fun, and leisure. Also, be cautious of overdoing it when it comes to things like gambling, taking risks, and love. Count your blessings when it comes to your children. So if you have any children, even thinking about any nieces and nephews you have, count your blessings when it comes to your hobbies, sports, your forms of entertainment. But also keep in mind that things may change in unexpected ways for you when it comes to these areas. Still, during this transit, you might get out more or go on more adventures, try out new things, be extra confident. Perhaps your childlike qualities increase, or you spend a greater amount of time having fun and enjoying yourself. It's a great time to feel the love, feel happy, express your appreciation toward your children if you have any. And it's also a great time to let your inner child have fun. Time to get creative and to be romantic, and thinking about these things in terms of seeking alternatives too. Now, whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 5th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been going inward when it comes to your hobbies and leisure activities, when it comes to what you do during your spare time. So use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand these lessons. Now, it could be that you grow when it comes to your playfulness, entertainment, and your self-expression. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Now, Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 4th house. So your family life, your living situation, and your emotional security have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. So you have been focusing heavily on your living situation and learning more about being patient with family members, even patient with yourself when it comes to your emotions. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to accomplishment, fixation, and life mission fears. So this is about you balancing then your life mission, your purpose, versus how you show up within your family, how you show up within your home. It's also about being able to balance out your achievements, your accomplishments, versus just your emotional security, okay? So taking care of your emotional health, nurturing yourself. Still, the Jupiter transit may have you feeling good about things like belonging and safety, caregiving, but the key is to be steady, sturdy, calm, of course, patient. You already can be patient, determined, and steady to your core. but you can attract things like housing blessings, living situation rewards, and fruitful family relationships, provided that you don't give in to petty judgment or reckless behaviors when at home. Now, of course, expect the unexpected with Uranus being in your 4th house. I mean, maybe things have changed in unexpected ways when it comes to your living situation, when it comes to family related matters. And do be cautious of becoming overly idealistic about things like property, residency, and even conclusions. This transit will help you remain grounded and settled though. And perhaps you decide to branch out and look for a new place to live. You may put building blocks in place. You steadily save, or you steadily start to build, or maybe you see your family more often, or you spend more time with your loved ones during this transit. Or maybe you even take some more time to relax, to unwind. As an Aquarius myself, so I have an Aquarius sun, I can certainly relate to this. And maybe it's that you do need more time to put your feet up here, Aquarius. Now, whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 4th house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been reevaluating your private life, your private self. And you've also been thinking over how safe you feel, how secure you feel, especially at home, especially within yourself. Use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand such lessons. And it could be that you grow when it comes to things like land, property, location, or caretaking. And lastly, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Jupiter in Taurus will transit your 3rd house. So your learning, communication, and speech have been activated by the North Node since January 2022. You have been focusing heavily on your studies and learning more about being reliable when it comes to the things you say. So thinking about how valuable the words you say are, how valuable language is, how valuable your intellect is. But you have also been challenged by past conditioning related to self-destructive beliefs and even further training, advanced training fears. So you've been kind of balancing here advanced training, further training versus just your everyday speech, everyday communication, thinking about just learning new interesting facts and information here. You've also been balancing your intellect, your mindset, your personal opinions versus bigger ideas, bigger concepts, wider beliefs. Still, the Jupiter transit will have you feeling good about your writing, about your speaking skills as well. But the key is to be thorough, intentional, and also security focused. But with this same token, do keep in mind the Uranus energy, so flashes of insight, unexpected changes to your intellect, new ideas, new visions, etc. Now, you already place so much value upon the things that you say and communicate with Taurus in the 3rd house, and you can be practical and grounded communicators. But you can also attract fruitful media or reporting opportunities, or you can attract words of praise from others where others value your work, they value what you have to say, your writing, etc. Or maybe you even attract new opportunities tied to short distance travel. But these things will happen provided that you don't give into outspoken words of judgment or carelessness when it comes to what you say, provided that you don't get caught up even in words of fantasy or make-believe, being overly idealistic. Try to remain focused, try to stay on track, keep steady, trust that new short distance travel experiences are coming, or even trust the process of the unexpected. So if there are big changes that come up, more fruitful information and exchange opportunities are on their way. And also be cautious of overthinking and analyzing things to the point of those things no longer making sense anymore. And perhaps you are opened up to new neighborhood or sibling opportunities too, or you feel joy and happiness about discussions and storytelling. You're complimented often. And whilst Mercury has been retrograde in your 3rd house from the 21st of April to the 14th of May, you have been reviewing your networks, your social media accounts, your research, your everyday education. Use what you have learned to your advantage, because Jupiter will expand such lessons. It could be that you grow when it comes to your speech, your intellect, and your education. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video talking about these financial, security, and material blessings coming to you as Jupiter enters the sign of Taurus from May 2023 to May 2024. I do hope that you found this video to be helpful today. Certainly let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this video, and good luck with this transit. I hope it brings you amazing things. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!